Elon Musk was born on June 28, 1971 in Pretoria, a city in South Africa. At the time, no one could imagine that this quiet boy would grow up to become one of the most talked about innovators in the world. His story begins in a normal household, but from a young age, Musk showed signs that his mind worked differently from other children. He was extremely curious about how things worked, and he spent a lot of time thinking about the future. While many children were playing outside, Musk often preferred reading books or exploring ideas in his imagination. His family played an important role in shaping his early life. His father, Elon Musk, was an engineer, while his mother, May Musk, was a model and dietitian. Growing up with a father who worked with machines and engineering ideas exposed Elon to technical thinking at a young age. The house often had conversations about science, technology, and business. These discussions helped Elon develop an early interest in invention and problem-solving. However, his childhood was not always easy. His parents eventually separated, and the family went through emotional challenges. These experiences would later shape Elon's determination and independence. As a child, Elon Musk loved reading more than anything else. Books became his escape and his classroom. He read science fiction, adventure stories, and books about technology. Some of his favorite books imagined humans traveling through space and building advanced civilizations. These stories deeply influenced him. They planted the idea that humanity could become something greater in the future. Musk once read for hours every day, sometimes finishing entire books in one sitting. Over time, he had read thousands of books, learning about science, engineering, philosophy, and history. At school, Elon Musk was often quiet and thoughtful. Teachers sometimes described him as a student who spent a lot of time thinking rather than talking. While some children quickly made friends, Elon sometimes struggled socially. Other students sometimes misunderstood his quiet nature. He was also bullied by some classmates, which made school life difficult at times. These experiences made him tougher and more determined. Instead of giving up, he focused even more on learning and building his ideas. One of the most important moments in Elon Musk's childhood happened when he discovered computers. During the early 1980s, computers were still new and mysterious to many people. When Elon first encountered one, he became fascinated. The idea that a machine could follow instructions and create something new amazed him. At around the age of 10, Musk taught himself how to program using a computer manual. He studied the book carefully and learned how to write simple computer code. Soon after learning programming, Elon Musk created his first video game. The game was called Blaster. It was a simple space-themed game where players controlled a spaceship and destroyed enemy ships. Even though the game was basic, it showed Musk's creativity and determination. At only 12 years old, he sold the game to a computer magazine for about $500. This small success was an early sign of his entrepreneurial spirit. Many children his age were still discovering their hobbies, but Musk had already created and sold a product. Despite his talent, Musk still faced many challenges growing up in South Africa. At the time, the country was going through political and social tension. Musk often felt that his dreams were bigger than what his environment could offer. He believed that the world outside South Africa had more opportunities, especially in technology and innovation. For Musk, the idea of moving to another country became part of his long-term plan. During his teenage years, Elon Musk's mind continued to explore big questions. He often wondered how humans could solve global problems like energy, transportation, and space exploration. While most teenagers were focused on everyday life, Musk was thinking about the future of humanity. He believed technology could solve many of the world's biggest challenges. This belief would later guide many of his business decisions. Another important trait that appeared early in Musk's life was his willingness to take risks. Even as a young person, he was not afraid to try new ideas or challenge traditional thinking. When something interested him, he would study it deeply until he understood it. This intense focus became one of the key characteristics of his personality. People who later worked with Musk often described him as someone who becomes completely absorbed in solving problems. Elon Musk also developed a strong sense of independence. After his parents separated, he spent some time living with his father. Life during this period was not always easy. but it taught him to rely on himself. Musk learned that achieving his dreams would require hard work and persistence. Instead of waiting for opportunities, he believed in creating them. By the time Musk reached his late teenage years, he had already decided that he wanted to leave South Africa and pursue a bigger future. He believed that countries like Canada and the United States were the best places for innovation and entrepreneurship. These nations were home to many technology companies and universities that encouraged new ideas. Musk knew that if he wanted to turn his dreams into reality, he needed to go where those opportunities existed. This decision would eventually change the course of his life. Leaving home at a young age required courage and determination. But Musk believed that taking bold steps was necessary to build the future he imagined. The young boy who once spent hours reading science fiction was now preparing to step into the real world. The early life of Elon Musk reveals the foundation of a mind driven by curiosity, imagination, and resilience. His childhood experiences shaped the way he approached challenges and opportunities. From teaching himself programming to dreaming about space travel, Musk showed signs of extraordinary ambition even before becoming an adult. These early years were only the beginning. Soon, Musk would leave South Africa and begin a journey that would lead him across continents, into the world of business, and eventually to some of the most ambitious technological projects in modern history. The quiet boy from Pretoria was about to enter a much larger stage, where his ideas would start turning into reality. After leaving South Africa, the young Elon Musk began the next chapter of his life in Canada. He moved there at the age of 17. His decision was not random. Musk believed that Canada would be the first step toward reaching the United States, which he saw as the center of technology and innovation. He wanted to be where big ideas could become real businesses. However, when he first arrived in Canada, life was not easy. Musk did not come from a rich background, and he had to work many different jobs to support himself. During this period, Musk worked hard doing difficult tasks. He once worked on farms and even cleaned large boilers in factories. These jobs were physically demanding and often uncomfortable, but Musk accepted them because he knew they were temporary steps toward a bigger future. These experiences also taught him discipline and resilience. Instead of complaining about the difficult work, Musk focused on his long-term goals. He believed that every challenge was part of the journey. Eventually, Musk enrolled at Queen's University in Ontario. While studying there, he continued developing his interest in technology, business, and big ideas about the future. He also began meeting people who shared similar ambitions. Musk was not only interested in getting good grades, he was interested in understanding how the world worked and how technology could change it. After spending 2 years at Queen's University, he decided to continue his studies in the United States. Musk transferred to the University of Pennsylvania, one of the most respected universities in the country. There, he studied both physics and economics. This combination reflected his unique way of thinking. Physics helped him understand the laws of nature and technology, while economics helped him understand business and markets. Musk believed that combining these two fields could help him build companies that solved real-world problems. While studying at the University of Pennsylvania, Musk was already thinking like an entrepreneur. Instead of waiting until graduation to start building businesses, he began experimenting with ideas during his college years. One well-known story from this time shows how creative and bold he was. Musk and a friend rented a large house near campus. Instead of using it only as a place to live, they turned the house into a weekend nightclub for students. Hundreds of people would attend the parties, paying a small entrance fee. This unusual idea helped Musk earn money to support himself during school. This early experiment showed Musk's willingness to try unconventional ideas. He was always searching for opportunities where others saw ordinary situations. For Musk, entrepreneurship was not only about making money, it was about finding problems and creating solutions that could change the world. After graduating from the University of Pennsylvania, Musk faced an important decision. He had been accepted into a graduate program at Stanford University in California. Stanford was one of the best places in the world to study advanced science and technology. But around the same time, the internet was beginning to grow rapidly. The mid-1990s were the early days of the digital revolution. New companies were forming, and people were starting to realize that the internet would change how the world communicated and did business. Musk quickly realized that this was a rare moment in history. Instead of continuing with graduate school, he made a bold decision. After only 2 days at Stanford, he dropped out. Musk believed that the internet offered a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to build something important. Many people thought the decision was risky, but Musk trusted his instincts. Together with his brother, Kimball Musk, Elon Musk started his first real technology company called Zip2. The idea behind Zip2 was simple but powerful. In the 1990s, many newspapers were beginning to explore the internet, but they did not yet have the tools to publish content online. Musk and his brother wanted to help newspapers create online city guides that included maps, business directories, and local information. The early days of Zip2 were extremely difficult. Musk and his brother worked almost non-stop. They had very little money, and they even slept in the office because they could not afford a proper apartment. They would shower at a nearby gym and then return to work. The company's small office became their home, workplace, and dream factory all at once. Despite the struggles, Musk remained confident in his vision. He believed that the internet would soon become a major part of everyday life. At first, many companies did not take Zip2 seriously. The internet was still new, and many traditional businesses did not understand its potential. But Musk kept improving the technology and convincing newspapers to try it. Slowly, Zip2 began gaining attention. Major newspapers started using the company's software to bring their content online. This success attracted investors who believed the company could become very valuable. As the business grew, Musk learned important lessons about leadership, technology, and competition. He also discovered that building a company required patience and constant problem-solving. Eventually, the hard work paid off. In 1999, the computer company Compaq decided to buy Zip2 for about $300 million. This was an enormous success for a company that had started in a small office with very limited resources. Musk personally earned around $22 million from the sale. For a young entrepreneur in his 20s, it was a life-changing moment. However, for Musk, the money was not the most important part. What mattered more was the experience he gained from building his first successful company. He had proven that his ideas could become real businesses. He had also learned how fast technology could grow when combined with ambition and determination. Most people might have chosen to relax after such a success. But Elon Musk was not satisfied with stopping there. Instead of retiring or enjoying his new wealth, he immediately began thinking about the next big challenge. He believed that the internet could still transform many industries, especially finance. This belief would soon lead him to create another company that would change the way people send and receive money online. That company would eventually become one of the most famous financial technology platforms in the world. But at this moment in his life, one thing had become clear. The quiet boy who once read science fiction books in Pretoria had transformed into a bold entrepreneur, willing to risk everything for his ideas. Elon Musk had taken his first major step into the world of technology and business, and it was only the beginning of a much larger journey. After the success of Zip2, Elon Musk had something that many young entrepreneurs only dream about: millions of dollars and proof that he could build a successful company. But instead of slowing down, Musk immediately began searching for the next big problem to solve. His mind was always focused on the future, and he believed the internet still had the power to transform many parts of everyday life. One area that interested him deeply was the way people handled money. At the time, sending money through the internet was slow, complicated, and often unsafe. Musk believed there had to be a better way. In 1999, Musk used much of the money he earned from the sale of Zip2 to start a new company called X.com. The idea behind X.com was very ambitious. Musk wanted to create a fully online bank where people could send, receive, and manage money through the internet. Today, this idea seems normal, but in the late 1990s, it sounded almost impossible. Many people did not trust online banking yet. Most customers still preferred visiting physical banks, but Musk believed that in the future, people would want fast and simple digital payments. X.com quickly attracted attention because of its bold vision. The company offered services that allowed customers to send money using only an email address. This feature made online payments easier than ever before. Musk and his team believed that if they could make online payments simple and secure, millions of people would start using the service. However, the company faced strong competition. Around the same time, another startup called Confinity was also developing digital payment technology. Confinity had created a product called PayPal, which allowed people to send money between handheld devices and later through email. Both companies were trying to solve the same problem, and competition between them quickly became intense. Instead of continuing a costly battle, the two companies eventually decided to merge in the year 2000. The merged company kept the name PayPal because that brand was becoming more popular with users. The goal was to combine the strengths of both teams and build the best online payment system possible. During this time, Elon Musk served as the CEO of the company. His leadership style was very demanding. Musk pushed his team to work extremely hard and move quickly. He believed that speed and innovation were the keys to beating competitors. However, not everyone inside the company agreed with his decisions. Some employees felt that Musk's leadership style was too aggressive or unpredictable. The tension inside the company eventually led to a dramatic moment. While Musk was traveling on a trip, some members of the board decided to replace him as CEO. This was a difficult experience for Musk. Losing control of the company he had helped build was painful, but instead of walking away completely, Musk remained one of the largest shareholders and continued supporting the company's growth. Despite the internal conflicts, PayPal continued expanding rapidly. The service became especially popular on the online marketplace eBay. Buyers and sellers on eBay needed a fast and reliable way to send payments to each other. PayPal provided the perfect solution. Instead of mailing checks or sharing bank details, users could send money instantly through the platform. As more people started using PayPal, the company grew at an incredible speed. Millions of users joined the platform in just a few years. The technology was simple, fast, and convenient. PayPal was quickly becoming one of the most important tools for online commerce. In 2002, PayPal reached another major milestone. The company became publicly traded on the stock market, which meant that people could buy and sell shares of the company. This move showed that PayPal had become a serious player in the financial technology industry. Investors believed that digital payments would become a huge part of the future economy. Later that same year, eBay made a huge decision. The company decided to buy PayPal for about $1.5 billion. The deal made sense for both companies. PayPal had become the preferred payment method for many eBay users, so combining the two businesses allowed them to grow even faster. For Elon Musk, the sale of PayPal was another life-changing moment. Because he owned a large number of shares in the company, he earned around $180 million from the deal. Once again, Musk had proven that he could help create a company that changed an entire industry. But perhaps the most important result of the PayPal story was not just the money. It was the group of talented entrepreneurs who worked together during those years. Many former PayPal employees later went on to build other famous technology companies. This group of innovators became known as the PayPal Mafia, a nickname used to describe their influence in the technology world. For Musk personally, the PayPal experience taught many important lessons. He learned how difficult it can be to manage a fast-growing company. He experienced both success and conflict within leadership. He also saw how quickly technology could reshape entire industries. Instead of retiring after becoming wealthy for the second time, Musk began thinking about even bigger challenges. During this period, he started focusing on ideas that many people considered impossible. He became interested in space exploration, renewable energy, and the future of transportation. While most entrepreneurs focused on building internet companies, Musk started dreaming about rockets, electric cars, and the survival of humanity beyond Earth. These ideas sounded strange to many people at the time, but for Musk, they were the logical next step in his mission to shape the future. The PayPal chapter of Elon Musk's life showed the world that he was not just a dreamer. He was someone capable of turning bold ideas into real companies used by millions of people. Yet the next stage of his journey would be even more ambitious. Instead of building another internet company, Musk was about to enter industries that were far more complex and risky. He would attempt to change space travel and the global car industry at the same time. Many experts believed these goals were unrealistic, but Elon Musk had never been afraid of difficult challenges. And soon, he would begin one of the most daring projects of his entire life: the creation of a private space company that aimed to send humans beyond Earth. After the success of PayPal, most people expected Elon Musk to enjoy his wealth and perhaps start another internet company. He had already become extremely successful at a young age, and many entrepreneurs in his position would have chosen a comfortable life. But Musk's mind was different. Instead of focusing on comfort, he was thinking about something far bigger: the future of humanity in space. For many years, Musk had been fascinated by space exploration. As a child, he spent countless hours reading science fiction books about humans traveling between planets and building civilizations beyond Earth. Those early stories had planted a powerful idea in his mind: humanity should become a multi-planet species. Musk believed that if humans lived on more than one planet, it would improve the chances of human survival in the long term. Around the early 2000s, Musk began seriously exploring the possibility of sending humans to Mars. He believed that Mars could one day become a second home for humanity. However, when he started researching the space industry, he quickly discovered a major problem. Launching rockets into space was extremely expensive. Government space agencies such as NASA spent billions of dollars on missions, and private companies rarely entered the industry because the risks were so high. Instead of accepting these limitations, Musk asked a simple but powerful question: why are rockets so expensive? When he studied the industry more closely, he realized that rockets were often built in ways that made them difficult to reuse. Most rockets were used only once and then destroyed after launching. Musk believed this approach was inefficient. If rockets could be reused like airplanes, the cost of space travel could drop dramatically. With this idea in mind, Musk made a bold decision. In 2002, he used much of the money he had earned from PayPal to start a new company called SpaceX, which stands for Space Exploration Technologies. The goal of SpaceX was simple but ambitious: reduce the cost of space travel and eventually make it possible for humans to live on Mars. When Musk first announced the company, many experts in the aerospace industry were skeptical. Building rockets was one of the most difficult engineering challenges in the world. Governments and large corporations had struggled with it for decades. Some people believed that a private startup had almost no chance of succeeding, but Musk was determined to prove them wrong. He hired a small team of talented engineers and began designing rockets from scratch. The company focused on creating a new type of rocket called the Falcon 1. This rocket was smaller and cheaper than many traditional launch vehicles, but building it was still extremely complicated. The early years of SpaceX were filled with challenges. Designing rockets required solving thousands of technical problems. Engines needed to generate enormous power while remaining stable and safe. Even the smallest mistake could cause a launch to fail. Musk often worked long hours with his engineers, studying designs and testing different solutions. Finally, in 2006, SpaceX attempted its first rocket launch. The Falcon 1 lifted off from a small launch site in the Pacific Ocean, but only a short time after launch, the rocket failed and crashed. It was a major disappointment for the company. Years of work had ended in failure. Despite the setback, Musk refused to give up. The team analyzed the problem carefully and prepared for another launch. In 2007, SpaceX attempted a second launch. Unfortunately, this mission also failed. Once again, the rocket did not reach orbit. By this point, the company was under enormous pressure. Building rockets required a lot of money, and each failed launch pushed SpaceX closer to financial collapse. Some employees and observers began to wonder whether the company could survive. Still, Musk remained confident. He believed that failure was part of the learning process. Instead of quitting, he encouraged the team to continue improving the rocket. A third launch was prepared in 2008, but the third attempt also failed. 3 failed launches in a row would have destroyed many companies. Investors were losing confidence, and SpaceX was running out of money. Musk had invested much of his personal fortune into the company. If the next launch failed, SpaceX might have to close permanently. This moment became one of the most critical turning points in Musk's career. Instead of stopping, he decided to risk everything on one final launch attempt. The team worked day and night to correct every possible mistake. They carefully reviewed the rocket design and tested each component again. Finally, later in 2008, SpaceX launched Falcon 1 for the 4th time. This time, the rocket successfully reached orbit. The moment was historic. SpaceX became the first private company in history to send a liquid-fueled rocket into orbit. The success proved that a small private company could achieve something once dominated by governments. Soon after this breakthrough, SpaceX received an important contract from NASA to deliver supplies to the International Space Station. This contract helped secure the company's future and provided funding for new rocket development. With this success, SpaceX continued building larger and more powerful rockets. One of the most famous designs was the Falcon 9 rocket. Unlike traditional rockets, Falcon 9 was designed to be partially reusable. After launching into space, the rocket's first stage could return to Earth and land vertically. When SpaceX first attempted rocket landings, many experts believed the idea was unrealistic. But after several tests and improvements, the company achieved its first successful rocket landing in 2015. This breakthrough dramatically changed the space industry. Reusable rockets meant that launch costs could be reduced significantly. Today, SpaceX has become one of the most influential companies in space exploration. The company continues to launch satellites, deliver cargo to space stations, and develop new spacecraft designed for deep space missions. One of its most ambitious projects is the Starship rocket, which is being designed to carry humans to the Moon and eventually to Mars. For Elon Musk, the dream that started with childhood science fiction books is slowly becoming reality. His vision of a future where humans live on multiple planets no longer seems impossible. The journey has been full of failures, risks, and uncertainty. But Musk's determination to push beyond traditional limits has already changed how the world thinks about space travel. And while SpaceX was growing, Musk was also working on another ambitious idea back on Earth, transforming the global car industry through electric vehicles. That project would soon lead him into another challenging and revolutionary adventure. While SpaceX was working to transform space travel, Elon Musk was also becoming deeply involved in another revolutionary idea on Earth. This new mission focused on changing the way people drive cars and how the world produces energy. Musk believed that traditional gasoline-powered vehicles were harmful to the environment and that the future of transportation should be electric. At the time, however, electric cars were not very popular. Many people believed they were slow, expensive, and impractical. Musk wanted to prove that electric vehicles could be powerful, beautiful, and desirable. In 2004, Musk invested in a small startup called Tesla Inc. The company had been founded by engineers who believed that electric vehicles could replace gasoline cars. Musk joined the company as chairman and became one of its largest investors. He was deeply interested in the company's mission because it matched his belief that technology should help solve global problems like climate change and pollution. During the early years of Tesla, the company faced many difficulties. Building a car company from scratch is extremely challenging. Traditional automakers had decades of experience, massive factories, and large engineering teams. Tesla was a small startup trying to compete in a very difficult industry. But Musk believed that innovation could help the company succeed. The first major product Tesla developed was the Tesla Roadster. This car was different from any electric vehicle people had seen before. Instead of focusing only on efficiency, the Roadster was designed to be fast and exciting. It could accelerate quickly and travel much farther on a single charge than earlier electric cars. Musk believed that if electric vehicles could compete with sports cars in performance, people would begin to change their opinions about the technology. When the Tesla Roadster was introduced in 2008, it attracted a lot of attention. Many people were surprised that an electric car could be both stylish and powerful. However, producing the vehicle was much harder than expected. Tesla struggled with manufacturing problems, high costs, and delays. At the same time, Musk was also dealing with financial pressure from his other company, SpaceX. The year 2008 became one of the most difficult periods in Musk's life. Both Tesla and SpaceX were close to running out of money. Investors were worried, and the global financial crisis made it harder to find new funding. Musk faced a situation where both of his major companies could fail at the same time. Instead of stepping away, he invested much of his remaining personal money to keep Tesla alive. Eventually, Tesla survived this difficult period and continued developing new vehicles. In 2012, the company released the Tesla Model S. This car was a luxury electric sedan designed to compete with high-end gasoline vehicles. The Model S offered impressive performance, advanced technology, and a long driving range. It quickly became one of the most talked-about cars in the automotive industry. One feature that made Tesla vehicles unique was their software. Instead of treating cars as simple machines, Tesla designed them more like computers on wheels. The vehicles could receive software updates through the internet, improving performance and adding new features over time. This approach made Tesla stand out from traditional car manufacturers. Another major innovation introduced by Tesla was its network of fast charging stations. The company built special charging locations called superchargers that allowed Tesla owners to recharge their vehicles quickly during long trips. This network helped solve one of the biggest concerns people had about electric cars: the fear of running out of battery power during travel. As Tesla continued growing, Musk eventually became the company's CEO and took a more direct role in its leadership. His management style was intense and demanding. Employees often worked long hours to meet ambitious deadlines. Musk pushed his teams to move quickly and solve problems creatively. While some people admired his determination, others criticized his leadership approach as too aggressive. Despite the challenges, Tesla continued expanding its product lineup. The company introduced additional vehicles such as the Tesla Model X, an electric SUV with distinctive upward opening doors, and later the more affordable Tesla Model 3. The Model 3 was designed to bring electric vehicles to a larger market by offering a lower price compared to earlier Tesla models. The launch of the Model 3 was one of the most important moments in Tesla's history. Thousands of customers placed orders before the car was even produced. This huge demand showed that many people were ready to adopt electric vehicles. However, Tesla faced major production challenges when trying to build the cars quickly enough to meet demand. Musk later described this period as production hell because the company struggled to scale its manufacturing operations. Even with these difficulties, Tesla continued pushing forward. Over time, the company improved its production systems and delivered large numbers of vehicles to customers around the world. Tesla also expanded its mission beyond cars. The company began developing solar energy systems and battery storage technologies designed to support renewable energy. By the late 2010s and early 2020s, Tesla had grown from a risky startup into one of the most valuable car companies in the world. Its success forced traditional automakers to take electric vehicles seriously. Many major car manufacturers began investing heavily in their own electric models to compete with Tesla. For Elon Musk, Tesla represented more than just a car company. It was part of a larger vision to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Musk believed that if electric vehicles became common, they could reduce pollution and help slow climate change. However, Musk's leadership of Tesla was not without controversy. His statements on social media, bold predictions about technology, and intense work style often attracted public debate. Supporters saw him as a visionary who was willing to challenge old industries. Critics sometimes described him as unpredictable or reckless. Regardless of these opinions, one thing became clear: Tesla had changed the automotive industry forever. Electric vehicles were no longer considered a small experiment. They had become a central part of the future of transportation. For Musk, though, the story was still not finished. Alongside Tesla and SpaceX, he continued launching new companies and pursuing ambitious projects that aimed to reshape the future of humanity. These ventures would raise an even bigger question about the man behind them. Was Elon Musk truly a visionary genius pushing the world forward, or was he a chaotic force constantly taking dangerous risks? That question would define the final chapter of his story. By the time Elon Musk reached the later stage of his career, he had already built or helped build several companies that changed entire industries. Through Tesla Inc., he helped push the world toward electric vehicles. Through SpaceX, he reduced the cost of space travel and proved that private companies could launch rockets successfully. Through PayPal, he helped make digital payments a normal part of everyday life. These achievements made Musk one of the most famous and influential entrepreneurs in the world. But his success also raised a powerful question that many people continue to debate. Is Elon Musk a genius who is shaping the future? Or is he a chaotic leader who takes dangerous risks? One reason people admire Musk is his ability to think about problems in unusual ways. Many business leaders focus on improving existing products or services. Musk often focuses on solving problems that others consider impossible. For example, before SpaceX, most experts believed reusable rockets would be too difficult or expensive to build. Musk challenged that belief and invested enormous resources into developing rockets that could land and fly again. When SpaceX successfully landed its rockets, the entire space industry had to rethink its approach. Musk's thinking also influenced the automotive industry. For many years, electric cars were considered small experimental vehicles with limited performance. Through Tesla, Musk helped prove that electric cars could compete with traditional gasoline vehicles in speed, design, and technology. This success forced major automakers around the world to invest in electric vehicles. Today, many countries are planning to reduce or even eliminate gasoline cars in the future, partly because companies like Tesla demonstrated that electric transportation is possible. But Musk's influence extends beyond just two companies. Over the years, he has launched several ambitious projects designed to push technology forward. One of these projects is Neuralink, a company working on technology that could connect the human brain directly with computers. Musk believes this technology could one day help people with certain medical conditions and possibly allow humans to interact with artificial intelligence in new ways. Another project is the Boring Company, which focuses on building underground transportation tunnels to reduce traffic congestion in major cities. Musk believes that digging networks of tunnels could create faster transportation systems and reduce crowded roads. In addition, Musk played a major role in the development of OpenAI, an organization originally created to research advanced artificial intelligence. Although Musk later stepped away from its leadership, his early involvement showed his strong interest in the future of AI technology and its impact on humanity. These projects reveal a pattern in Musk's thinking. Instead of focusing on short-term profits, he often pursues ideas that could shape the long-term future of humanity. Many supporters see this as evidence that he is a visionary leader willing to invest in difficult challenges that others avoid. However, Musk's leadership style and behavior have also created controversy. He is known for making bold public statements and ambitious predictions about technology timelines. Sometimes these predictions turn out to be overly optimistic. Critics argue that Musk occasionally promises breakthroughs faster than they can realistically happen. Another area that attracts attention is Musk's activity on social media. His posts often influence public conversations about technology, business, and politics. Some of his messages have even affected stock prices or caused debates among investors. Supporters see this openness as refreshing because Musk communicates directly with the public. Critics believe his comments can sometimes create unnecessary confusion or controversy. Musk's management style inside his companies is also demanding. Employees often describe the work environment as intense and fast-paced. Musk pushes his teams to solve extremely difficult engineering problems in short periods of time. While this pressure has helped create rapid innovation, it has also led to criticism from people who believe the work expectations can be too extreme. Despite these debates, Musk continues moving forward with new ideas. One of the most ambitious projects under development at SpaceX is the Starship rocket. This massive spacecraft is designed to carry humans to the moon and eventually to Mars. Musk believes that building a city on Mars could help ensure the survival of humanity if Earth ever faces a global catastrophe. For many people, this vision sounds like science fiction, but Musk has already shown that ideas once considered impossible can become real with enough determination and engineering effort. Reusable rockets, electric vehicles, and global online payments were once considered unrealistic by many experts. This mixture of bold ambition and unpredictable behavior is what makes Elon Musk such a fascinating figure. To some observers, he represents the spirit of innovation that drives humanity forward. To others, he represents a risky style of leadership that moves too quickly and challenges too many established systems at once. The truth may lie somewhere in between. Musk's story shows that great innovation often comes with uncertainty and risk. Pushing the limits of technology requires people who are willing to challenge traditional thinking and accept the possibility of failure. From a quiet boy reading science fiction in Pretoria, South Africa, Elon Musk grew into one of the most influential entrepreneurs of the modern era. His companies have changed industries, inspired new technologies, and pushed humanity closer to exploring other planets. Whether people see him as a genius or as chaos in motion, there is little doubt that Elon Musk has already left a powerful mark on the world. And as long as he continues pursuing new ideas, the debate about his legacy will likely continue. For now, one thing is certain: Elon Musk's story is far from finished. The next chapter of innovation, risk, and discovery may already be underway.